Every man thinks he knows what women truly desire. But what if everything you believe is a lie? From movies to magazines, from romance novels to social media, we're told that women want flowers, candlelight, and endless affection. We're trained to believe that the secret to her heart is found in chocolates, compliments, and playing the nice guy role. And yet millions of men follow this script and still find themselves ignored, rejected, or left wondering why she feels unsatisfied. Here's the truth most men will never discover. Behind the polite smiles and the socially acceptable answers, every woman carries a hidden fantasy she will never admit. It's not sweet. It's not safe. It's not something she'll whisper to her girlfriends over wine. It is darker, more primal, and far more dangerous than you imagine. And once you understand it, you'll never see her the same way again. This isn't just about sexuality. It's about polarity. It's about the eternal dance between masculine and feminine energy, the silent force that pulls us together and shapes every interaction between men and women. Ignore it, and you'll remain in the dark, forever confused by her mixed signals. Understand it, and you unlock a side of her that she hides from the rest of the world. Brothers, if you want to understand women beyond the masks they wear, and master yourself in the process, stay until the end. And make sure you subscribe to Stoic Advice for Men, because this one truth can change how you see women forever. On the surface, women are celebrated today for their independence. They run companies, raise children, manage finances, and present themselves as strong, untouchable figures who need no one. Society applauds this image, the empowered woman who is always in control. And in truth, many women live this way daily, decisive, organized, balancing endless responsibilities with precision. But here lies the paradox. What she projects outwardly is not always what she craves inwardly. In her most secret fantasies, that constant control is not a source of excitement, it is a burden. The endless decisions, the weight of leadership, the constant vigilance, all of it leaves her exhausted. Deep within, a quiet voice longs for release. Not weakness, not recklessness, but the relief of letting go. This is her forbidden dream, the dream of losing control. She doesn't confess it to her friends, she doesn't write it in her journal, and she won't even whisper it to the man she loves. Yet it lingers in the shadows of her mind, a hunger that refuses to disappear. The stronger she appears in the daylight, the deeper this secret desire grows in the dark. Imagine the CEO who commands boardrooms with authority, the lawyer who dominates in court, or the single mother who handles everything alone. To the outside world, she is ironclad. Yet behind closed doors, she yearns for something different, to surrender, to melt into the presence of a man who is calm, grounded, and utterly certain of himself. The higher the walls she builds in her daily life, the more intoxicating it feels when those walls finally crumble. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And this is where Stoicism comes into play. A Stoic man does not chase control over others, he builds control over himself. He carries an unshakable presence that makes others feel safe in his orbit. For a woman, this presence is the key that unlocks her hidden desire. Only when she senses that a man can lead without losing himself, does she allow herself to let go. Her forbidden dream isn't about danger, it's about trust. It's about being able to release the heavy armor she wears every day, knowing she's safe in the hands of a man who can handle both himself and her. That is the unspoken craving she will never say out loud, yet it's the one that defines her deepest attraction. 2. At the core of attraction lies one timeless principle: polarity. Masculine and feminine energy are opposites, and it is precisely this opposition that creates the spark between men and women. Where masculine energy is steady, directional, and rooted, feminine energy is flowing, expressive, and receptive. When the two meet, tension is born. Not conflict, but the magnetic pull that keeps desire alive. The modern world often confuses this truth. Men are told to soften, to always seek permission, to avoid taking the lead out of fear of being too much. Yet when a man becomes hesitant, overly cautious, or desperate for approval, he disrupts polarity. Instead of inspiring trust, he inspires doubt. A woman may respect his kindness, but she cannot surrender to him, because deep down she feels he cannot carry the weight of her release. Contrast this with a man who embodies calm certainty. He doesn't need to shout, brag, or dominate. His presence speaks louder than his words. When he makes decisions with clarity, when he holds himself steady, even in tension, he naturally invites the feminine to soften. She can let go because she feels his groundedness anchoring her storm. This is why women are drawn not to perfection, but to presence. Not to control, but to certainty. It's the difference between the man who nervously asks, "Is this okay? Are you sure?" and the man who simply leads with quiet confidence. One creates resistance, the other creates surrender. Marcus Aurelius captured this essence in Meditations when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." True masculinity is not about controlling her, but about mastering yourself. And paradoxically, it is this self-mastery that allows her to release her control. Polarity is not manipulation, it is nature. When the masculine leads with strength and composure, the feminine responds by opening. This is the silent dance of attraction, one that has guided human relationships since the beginning of time. 3. If this forbidden dream is so powerful, why won't women ever admit it? The answer lies in fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of being seen as weak. Fear that revealing her deepest desire would shatter the image she has worked so hard to build. From a young age, women are taught to present a version of themselves that is safe and acceptable. They speak about wanting romance, stability, kindness, the things society nods at and approves of. These are the safe answers, the mask that protects them from criticism. But behind that mask lies something far more vulnerable: the craving to let go, to surrender, to be taken out of the endless burden of control. This is why most men never glimpse this side of her. She plays the role of the good woman, the responsible partner, the flawless professional. The fantasy of losing control stays buried in silence, hidden even from her closest friends. To confess it would feel dangerous, because it exposes the raw truth of her inner world. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Behind every mask, there is an inner chaos that people are desperate to hide. For women, this chaos is the conflict between what they are expected to desire and what their body and soul actually long for. Stoicism teaches us that masks are universal. We all wear them. But wisdom comes from seeing beyond them. So the next time you hear a woman describe her ideal man, remember that what she says out loud may not match what she secretly craves. The truth lies not in her words, but in her eyes, in her energy, in the moments she lets her guard slip. Do you think women would ever admit this if asked directly? Comment below with your take. 4. You're at dinner with her. She's witty, confident, holding the conversation with ease. Everyone at the table admires her charm. But then you lean closer, lower your voice, and with calm certainty say, "We're leaving in 5 minutes. You're coming with me." You don't explain, you don't beg. You simply state it as fact. Outwardly, she may roll her eyes, smirk, or tease you. Inwardly, she's trembling. Why? Because in that moment, you've taken her out of her head and into her body. You've awakened the forbidden dream she hides, the thrill of being guided by a man who knows what he wants. This kind of certainty is not arrogance, it's presence. Women are constantly making decisions: what to wear, how to act, how to respond, how to juggle work and life. Their minds are overworked. So when a man appears who carries himself with quiet direction, it strikes a deep chord. It signals to her subconscious, "Here is someone strong enough to carry me so I don't have to." Consider another scenario. She's stressed after a long day, venting about her workload. Instead of offering endless advice or scrambling to fix everything, you simply put your hand on her shoulder and say, "Enough for today. Come with me." You remove her laptop, guide her outside for a walk, and let the silence do the work. That small act of leadership provides the release she secretly craves, the freedom to stop carrying the world for a moment. Or think of travel. She's used to planning every detail, from tickets to hotels. But when you take initiative, book the trip, and tell her, "Pack light, we leave tomorrow," you've again relieved her of control. She may feign resistance, but inside, she feels the rush of being able to trust and surrender. Stoicism teaches us that true strength requires no shouting, no over-explaining. Marcus Aurelius never sought to prove himself with words. His calm authority was proof enough. In the same way, the Stoic man doesn't overwhelm her with speeches. He demonstrates leadership through presence, through quiet certainty, through steady action. These scenarios may look simple, but they reveal her deepest desire, to be freed, even for a moment, from the constant need to control. If these examples opened your eyes, like this video and share it with a brother. 5. It's easy to think that the man who unlocks her hidden fantasy must be a bad boy, reckless, arrogant, unpredictable. Or perhaps the opposite, the nice guy who bends over backward to please her, always asking, always accommodating. But the truth lies in neither extreme. The man who awakens her secret is the Stoic man. The Stoic man is not reckless, but he is unshakable. He is not submissive, but neither is he domineering. His power comes not from controlling her, but from controlling himself. His silence speaks louder than words, his presence steadier than any promise. When he enters a room, he does not need to demand attention. His calm authority draws it naturally. This is the paradox. Women surrender most deeply to the man who doesn't need their surrender, because his strength is rooted in himself, not in her reaction. He does not chase, he does not beg, he does not perform. He simply is. And in that groundedness, she finds the safety to let go. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The Stoic man embodies this truth. He knows that to lead another, he must first lead himself. His thoughts, his emotions, his impulses. Only then can his presence provide the container where her forbidden dream can come alive. It is not the noise of bravado that inspires surrender, but the quiet force of inner mastery. That is what separates the ordinary man from the Stoic man, the one she cannot resist. 6. Every woman carries it, this forbidden dream she will never confess. She may speak of romance, of flowers, of gentle affection. She may present herself as unshakable, independent, and always in control. But behind the mask, in the shadows of her mind, she longs for something else. The relief of surrendering to a man strong enough to guide her, safe enough to trust, steady enough to never flinch. The question is not whether she has this fantasy. She does. The real question is whether you are man enough to awaken it. Most men never will. They remain blind, too afraid to lead, too weak to hold their ground, and so she hides her longing, burying it deeper, waiting for the one man bold enough to see beyond her mask. This is where Stoicism becomes more than philosophy. A Stoic man does not lose himself in passion, nor does he collapse under pressure. He leads from within, mastering his own mind before attempting to guide another. And it is this inner fortress that allows a woman to finally let go. So, brothers, here's the final challenge. Are you ready to become that man? Subscribe to Stoic Advice for Men and join the brotherhood of men who refuse to be weak. The question is not whether she has this fantasy. The question is whether you will be the man to awaken it.